All right, so it is lunchtime and I'm about to get my meal together, and I wanted to show you guys how I do it. I weigh out all of my food. These are the ingredients that I'm going to be using for today's lunch. I have chicken breast, then I have a mixed cauliflower and broccoli riced veggies by Green Giant, then I have Green Giant Tuscan broccoli steamers, and then Uncle Ben's ready rice. Now all of these items have been pre-cooked. These three that you see here, you heat them in the microwave for like 5 to 7 minutes, depending on your microwave. And of course the chicken was cooked on the stove. So I'm gonna get ready to put them on my food scale and weigh it all out. Now the first thing is you wanna make sure you put your plate on the scale and then hit your power button. And that'll reset it to 0, so you are not weighing your plate, you are only weighing the food that you're about to put on the plate. So I'm gonna start by adding my cauliflower and broccoli mix. Okay, so I started by adding some of the broccoli and cauliflower mix to my plate here. I have a whole mountain of it. That's about 2 cups, but I go by the grams, not by the cups. I think it is most accurate to weigh your food as opposed to try to measure it out. So now if you look on the label back here, it'll tell you serving size is 1 cup or 85 grams, and it's 20 calories. So I wanted 2 servings about, which would have been 170 grams. And if you see here on my scale, I have 181. I just basically emptied the entire bag. I realized that there was only about 10 grams left when I hit 170 on my scale. So I put the remaining 11 grams on my plate. It's not a big deal. It's a very small difference because it's only 20 calories a serving. But when I track it in my food app, I'm gonna go ahead and put in that I did 181. Okay, so now I'm ready to add my next ingredient, which is gonna be the Uncle Ben's ready rice. And I'm gonna go ahead and hit the reset button on my scale. So now it's reset to 0, so it's only going to be measuring the food that I add on from this point forward. It is no longer weighing the cauliflower and broccoli mix that I put on there. So with this here, if you look on the back of it, I actually think I cut it off, which I did. But I kind of already have these labels memorized. I'm gonna do half a serving of this. It's the cheddar broccoli. So half a serving is going to be about 70 grams. The next one I'm gonna show you guys, let's first reset the scale. Always gotta do that in between. Is the seasoned broccoli. Now this one, I actually get questions about this sometimes. Now if you look on the back here, it'll say serving size 1 1/4 cup or 85 grams frozen, half a cup prepared. So that's because you buy this frozen and then you cook it. So if you're going to weigh it out at 85 grams, it's going to be off a little bit because it's no longer frozen and the weight of the food changes after you thaw it out and cook it in the microwave. So you can still weigh it out at the 85 grams and just know it's going to be a little bit off. It's 60 calories. How much off? It's kind of negligible considering that it's a very low calorie food to begin with. If you want to be very precise, go ahead and measure out half a cup prepared. That's kind of up to you. I usually just weigh it out anyway, and I track it at the 60 calorie, knowing that I'm off a little bit. Okay, so after adding my broccoli, I'm gonna go ahead and reset it again, and now I'm gonna be ready to add my chicken. So this chicken is just boiled, it doesn't have any seasonings on it. It is 90 calories for 4 ounces uncooked. Thing is, when you cook it, it loses some moisture and it actually, like loses weight. So 4 ounces uncooked becomes approximately 3 ounces cooked. So I'm going to measure out 3 ounces. Now right here, it's measuring grams. I'm gonna change my unit to ounce. Now this is another one where you're not as precise. The most precise way would be to measure it out before cooking and actually getting like 4 ounces before being cooked and knowing exactly, what you're getting in that sense. We're just kind of estimating that 4 ounces pre-cooked is going to be 3 ounces cooked. So that's 2.99 ounces. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm gonna just leave it at that. Go ahead and heat this up and we'll be done in a minute. So now, as you saw, the chicken that I was using was just very bland, plain boiled chicken without any seasoning or flavor to it. And that's because I like to be able to change the flavor and seasoning with every meal. And I do that by adding different sauces or gravies to each meal, just to kind of depending on what I'm feeling like. And it makes it much easier to meal prep and just cook my chicken for the week in advance, and just with each meal add something to it. So one of my favorites is Thai peanut sauce. P.F. Chang's also has some pretty good sauces that you can add to General Tso's chicken. And then I also am a huge fan of the Heinz gravies. I like the mushroom and the country style sausage. They also have a few other brands in the store that you can take a look at. The calories on them are really, really good. So like for instance, this is 35 calories for a quarter cup. And a quarter cup is a lot. That's all I really need to add, if that. This one here is 20 calories for the same quarter cup. So that's a really great way to change it up, so you're not eating the same thing every day, but still eating super healthy and getting a variety of flavor with every meal. This one here is my favorite. I think this is the highest calorie at 40 calories. But everything else is kind of in between that 20 to 40 calorie mark.